Welcome to CRGLive. Today is January 13th, 8:06. We're getting better. We're getting closer. But yeah, welcome to the show. As usual, we're going to have our segments. Numbers aren't sexy, but they tell a story. We have our topic of the day is going to be the difference between a buyer's agent and a seller's agent. There is a big difference, and we just want to make sure everybody knows what that is. So let me introduce the panel, and we'll get started for the day. To my right, we got Teresa Flora, agent, extraordinary buyer agent, and next to her is my wife, Holly Cavins, owner and principal broker here at CRG. And then next to her, we have Kyle Parton with OVM, or anything and everything you need to know about mortgage lending and finance and all that good stuff. So smarter than I.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Did you put the link out there?
I did not. Well, no, you just go to the Facebook and
I just
share
share it. You
Yeah.
go to Cabbage Realty Group live and
y'all
you
know.
share it.
Yeah,
This is a live show.
And we are on YouTube and Facebook this week, and then we'll have another platform next week. I don't know which one that will be yet, but we have a spot for it, and we'll come up with that by the next week. So we're all over the place. So how's everybody's weekend? How's everybody's week since we've been here? Anything new and exciting?
Well, old Big Betty, she is getting new shocks all the way around starting today. She's also getting shock helpers, or I don't know what
Assistance. Air shock assistance, wasn't it? Is what he said.
they are.
Is that
Air
what he called
shock
it?
helpers is what they're called. And so those are going in, and my steam cleaner came in, so she's getting a bath.
Nice.
That is the coolest camper. You have not done anything on the inside yet.
I'm going to do that before I make any changes. I
I
wanted to get all
want
the
you
layers of
to.
mouse poop out before.
It was not bad.
No, leave it in there. It's the character of it. It's before and after.
I already swept it. So.
It's actually really good. And y'all talked about it. I did not think it smelled at all, really.
I
It
didn't-
just smelled like an older camper.
It smelled
It's been
like
closed up.
Yeah, it smelled like 90s. 90s.
Yes.
Well, it's an 80, so it's 83.
It was living through the 90s. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely has that late 80s, early 90s old wood paneling smell
Yeah. Yeah.
mixed with a little mouse poop.
Yeah.
It is a cool camper. We finally seen it the other day for the first time. And I was like, this is so amazing. Just the shape that is in.
For the age, yeah.
And for the age is just immaculate.
There's not a rip, there's not a missing button, there's not a hole there. I mean, it's in immaculate shape.
Uncle Charlie and Aunt Betty really took care of that.
They did.
Well, hopefully it's not like my grandfather's truck. He always said if he cleaned his truck, the dirt's what's holding it.
That's what we've been doing and riding. It's been nice, so we rode a couple days.
Nice.
Today's going to be really hard because today's going to be sunshine and 60 degrees, and that bike is going to say, ride me, and we got to be
You guys
working.
were going to be riding yesterday, and it was colder yesterday.
I know.
So
We were going to ride yesterday.
Oh, did you guys know?
If you're gonna, y'all should ride. Today's the last day of 60 for a while. We're only in the low 50s next week.
Really?
Yeah, so you better take advantage of it. You may not be riding until another month
I don't
or
know.
two.
I'm one of those guys that are called a damn Yankee, and I like the cold, so I don't know.
Yeah, you're like an Eskimo. I don't like it.
You know.
I don't either.
Mm-mm. What did we do this
But I
weekend?
would rather be cold than 100 degrees.
100%. I can always add more. I can't take
Absolutely.
off because
we
that's
were
illegal.
hoping you
Sure you
can't.
That's illegal most places, so I can't do that.
What did we do this weekend?
We went to another Havocs game.
Yeah, you did.
We
Yeah.
did?
Yeah, it was
And-
great. They lost though, but
I
it
know,
was
it was
fun.
still a dang good game. And then we played euchre Friday night.
Yep, played a bunch of euchre. I am so happy that I've got some family here down in South playing euchre, and they're loving the game. So that's always fun.
It is. The only thing downside about it is
Only
only
4
four people can play. And
But-
I want to learn that game that you was talking about,
Hickdo.
Hick
Hick
do.
Do. I want to learn that one. That's a
Yeah.
new one I want to learn.
Well, because of you guys going to the Havocs, you guys have ruined my Facebook algorithm. And I saw a video this weekend of these peewees that did an intermission game,
Uh-huh.
and it broke out into the biggest like 7-year-old brawl
Uh,
you have ever seen on
Amazing.
the ice.
Was it like the like
Oh, dude, the parents were cheering. They were enjoying it. I mean, they were throwing sticks down. The goalie comes out like 30, 40 miles an hour and bum rushes somebody from behind. It was awesome.
I love watching the sports with the little guys because like football, for instance, it's a bunch of little bobbleheads playing
They
the game.
are. Their helmets is so big in this tiny little body, and
Yeah.
they literally just run around out there like waddling
and
almost.
togetherness.
The funny part is you could tell who was like the major aggressor because one of the kids ended up fighting one of his own teammates.
Oh,
He didn't
geez.
care who he was
Yeah,
swinging
he
on.
just wanted to
He
fight.
was just ready to
That's
go.
a hockey player in the making right there.
Oh,
We had a couple little ones there at the Havocs game. There's a couple little
they brought-
skirmishes.
they brought out like during one of the little halftime things they brought out their like pee-wee team that came out and like two different teams, and they just kind of skated around and hit some pucks in, and that was about it.
No, I'm
I'm
talking
like,
about fights.
oh, were
There's
they,
a couple little skirmishes.
was there? I don't think I was paying that close of attention.
Yeah.
We were dancing and singing, so we were having fun.
I was dancing, singing, and paying attention. Jeez, get on my level.
That is,
I was bothering my nephew. I had the one of the
Oh, yeah.
pictures. I had the big finger. Bella got a finger from mom for Christmas, and so
One
I
of
had
those
the big
foam
foam
fingers.
fingers, and I'm
Thank you
sitting
for
there and I'm
clarity.
just like
Yeah.
messing with him, and I don't know for how long. And Brienne's like videoing it. And she's got a great picture of me with my face, and I'm going,
Yeah, so it was glow stick night, and it's foam little sticks that they give out, and the advertisement on was the utility company in Huntsville. I mean, I don't know why I said that, but hey, give a shout out. They spent money on that. I understand the price of that kind of stuff. So, but it was utility systems that sponsored the glow sticks, and they're foam. They're probably about 18 inches long, and then they have LED lights in them, and they light it. It's really cool. But what's really cool is they had so many, they were giving everybody two when we came in. And so I had two. And then I had my nieces and nephews right in front of me watching the game. So I had two sticks. What did I do? I played
Played
some
drums.
drums. I played some drums on my nieces and nephews.
I know.
and
I
our
thought
niece and
Harley,
nephews.
if looks could kill, Harley was about to kill you though.
I know. I
You
loved
messed
it.
up her hair.
No, I didn't. I didn't do that on purpose. But yeah, no, that was fun.
No, she was like, because I said something about her hair. She's like, oh no, ain't nobody messing with this. I put so much hairspray in it.
Yeah,
it's
it
not
wouldn't
going
move
anywhere.
No, it would not move.
I'm like, oh goodness.
So, but no, that was fun. I
And you
think
changed my brakes Sunday.
I did. I was playing mechanic, and yeah, it went well actually. Surprisingly,
I hope so. It's the brakes of my car.
And they work.
yeah.
Imagine that.
is that why we're fixing the front wall?
Well, I did it about a year ago, and it took me like all day because I was YouTubing it. I'm not a mechanical guy. I never really was big in whatever in cars. You just pay somebody to do it, or you get your friend that knows how or knows what they're doing to get it done. But I was like, you know what, I want to do it. It saves we go get the brakes changed. It's going to be like $700, $800, $900 because we had to do rotors too. But if you do it yourself, it's $300. That's a big savings.
You did the rotors?
He did.
Well, I didn't turn them. I just took them off
And put new. I had to
put
have new
ones on.
rotors
Yeah, I just bought new rotors
because he had them
So,
turned last time.
Yeah, I had them turned last time, and there was a big old gouge out of one of them, and so we wouldn't have been able to turn them again. So we just had to get new ones. But yeah, from the rotors up,
Wow.
and it only took me a couple hours.
Couple hours, yeah.
I always find somebody who likes beer.
Yeah,
There's
that's a
trick,
good
though.
one.
They're not allowed to have the beer until the job's done. Otherwise, that job takes forever.
Right.
Mhm.
But no, we it went well. It works well, and yeah, it was good. So yeah.
Good.
Kyle, what
Kyle,
happened
what'd
with
you
you?
I saw a cool video.
I was all over the place. this
Yeah, was
week.
that one of those 360
Yeah.
turn thingamajiggers? Those are so cool.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. We got invited out to the Huntsville Realtors Gala where they were putting on the new board and all that. Great food. I mean, for an event, normally you go there and it's like moderate food because they're feeding the masses. They did fantastic from hors d'oeuvres to the drinks to the steaks, everything. Like everybody was
Wow.
extremely impressed with their food. You would have thought you were at, a pretty decent high-end restaurant for the level of cook on those steaks, the seasonings and whatnot. It was awesome, but just a real busy week training new LO on the team and being out at a couple different events and whatnot. I kept the roads hot this week.
Nice. When you say LO, what's LO?
Loan
Loan
officer.
officer.
Well,
Oh,
officer.
Duh.
That's all right. You're probably not the only one that didn't know.
We got
Or maybe you were.
we got a new guy up in Nashville. He's a personality. He's Santa every year, and man, he plays a good Santa.
Nice. Holly is hoping that my hair turns white. So I need my mouse over here. This is ridiculous. But Holly's hoping my hair turns white because she wants me to be Santa and then her be Mrs. Claus.
I want us to be Mr. and Mrs. Claus, but we gotta live long enough to do that. We're gonna be old one day.
I'm living to 125, so I don't. I just am. I don't know why I know that. I just know that. So
He says that, but we'll see.
it is what it is. So
All right. Anything else?
I don't know. Anything else new and exciting with you guys?
Nope, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we ready for some numbers?
We can.
And
we
start that?
can. Do I get music or no?
Yeah, you always get music.
Okay. All right. Good morning. Wanted to let you know these numbers aren't sexy, but they tell a story, and the numbers I'm reporting out are from the Real Tracks MLS system for January 1 through January 12th. Currently, right now, we have 187 listings with an average list price of $399,341. Right now, that gives us about a 214 square foot price. And on average, been on the market for about 120 days. Tells you how slow our market's going right now. Coming soon, we have 3 of those with an average list price of $344,467. Under contract showing, that means the seller is possibly letting additional showings and property tours and backup offers. We have 13 of those with an average list price of $289,084, which is about 187 square foot. From the time it sign went in the ground till it went under contract, on average, it's taken 79 days. Under contract not showing, that means we've got some happy buyers, happy sellers, and we're going to close. We have 3 of those with an average list price of $408,883, gives us $235 a square. And from the time we put the sign in the yard till it went under contract, it took 31 days. We had 4 expireds and 7 canceled. So far this year, we've had 7 closings with an average sold price. Now remember, the big difference between sold price and list price. But this is 7 that have sold with a sold price of $261,179. Gives us about 157 a square foot. The number that I tell everybody to pay attention to is the list price versus the sell price. Right now, sellers are getting 97.2%. which was a little surprising to me because I thought that was a little high. From the time we put the sign in the yard till it went under contract took about 69 days. From the time it went under contract till it closed took additional 39 days. So all in all, about 108 days. This time last year, we had 11 closings with an average sold price of $276,800. The list price to sell price was 95.55. We're a little higher right now this year. And it took 139 days from start to finish. But this is the one that really surprised me. In Lawrence County, now remember, these are all Lawrence County, Tennessee numbers. But in Lawrence County right now, if I did my math right, we have 8.31 months of inventory. If you watched us as Florida Rock Stars and heard us late summer, we were having weeks of inventory. So now we got 8.31 months of inventory. So, and then interest rates, remember interest rates are just, they depend on you, what you look like financially. These are just kind of like a base rate or give you an idea. I get the information from Mortgage News Daily. A conventional loan 6.1%, an FHA 5.70, a VA 5.71, and it's saying that the USDA is somewhere between the low and mid fives. So if you're interested in a loan, I would suggest USDA because right now the interest rate is running great. And folks, those are your numbers for this week because you know what? Numbers aren't sexy, but they do tell a story.
Ta-da!
Ta-da.
8.31 months of inventory.
Yes. 8.31.
So I would think these sellers need to really think about pricing. If this is the case, that means buyers just have more
Well,
say.
right now listings have been on average 120 days listed for 120 days with no activity happening. So, and then we got 8.3 months of inventory.
Well, that kind of goes hand in hand. You know, if things are taking a while to sell, then the inventory gets to stock up a little bit.
Right. So, but like where Holly was going, you know, a lot of it has to do with, I mean, there's just a few things: pictures, condition, marketing, and price.
Mm-hmm.
Price is number one.
And price is number one.
And like, and it's like the monthly payment more than like the price of the home. It's a lot about the monthly. It's what can I afford every month to pay.
And still be able to factor in insurance and taxes.
Oh, living. Yeah.
Yeah.
You eat pizza on Tuesday night and you have for the last 4 years, you're going to eat pizza on Tuesday night, no matter whether you got a mortgage or not. So you better make sure that that all factors in together and that you can afford it comfortably. But interest rates right now, from what I'm seeing, are good. You know, they are. What are you saying?
Let's go to that.
I'm not a loan officer. That's your job. This is Mortgage News Daily. So that's what they were reporting.
Yeah.
Today we're going to get into conspiracy theories.
Okay.
So we're getting back to numbers not mattering in the Fed world because of the way communication is. So Jerome Powell has stepped outside of his box from what he normally does, where he ignores Trump, and decided to go on a 2-minute rant on how the Fed is going to proceed through his term through May. And he is very combative, almost in a sense of, you know, presenting himself a 50-50 opportunity to have some clout as he's no longer the Fed president and out in the community looking for a job. So he's saying that, hey, look, we should be diligent and a little bit more restrictive. It may releasing policy could cause inflation. And I think a lot of that is just to have somebody just as large as Trump conflicting data or conflicting ideas so that if that 50-50 role does see that, hey, we do see inflation or anything like that as he's leaving out of his office, that he was right. Trump was wrong. He did his job as a Fed president. That's why somebody else should hire him. It's really weird that that statement happened at the time that it did, because Trump released Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac the ability to go buy $200 billion worth of bonds, which helped out the bond market. And then it was within like 48 hours later that he comes in and again says what he says. Just kind of like every time that the Fed made those cuts, were now 3 or 4 cuts in a row in 25 basis points, the post-meeting interview was very hawkish and talking very grim about a situation, almost like, well, then why did you make the cut? So things aren't matching. And so I think the next big thing to kind of look out for are 2 things. Fed meeting this month should be reporting 2 or more new members on the board. We're looking for 2 names named Kevin. One of those 2 Kevins have a very high potential of being nominated for the president of the Fed to take over after Jerome Powell. Both these Kevins are very dovish. They are looking at the data a little bit more holistically instead of how they have done over time. An example of that, we get our jobs data from each state. And so a lot of these remote jobs that are posting out to 50 different states now look like 50 jobs, and 49 of them aren't real. And so we're having an inflated idea of, well, here's what the unemployment is, but here's the job opportunities that there are.
Yeah.
And that number is not there. And so we're not keeping up with the time. We're just looking at the data, how we've always looked at the data based on how it's collected. And so we have a lot more communication from these types of individuals to really dig down. Where is this actually at? So you look at like job growth right now, it's through the healthcare sector. You can't stop healthcare needs. That's based on population. That is not a huge discerning factor of job growth, because if you look at all the other sectors, professional level, small businesses and things like that, you are seeing a decline. It's really the healthcare and hospitality area that is keeping everybody afloat. And of course, hospitality, people do a lot of things during Christmas. They go traveling, airlines need more people, there's seasonal work, things of that nature.
Well, no, just the delivery services. I mean, I bet they bumped up jobs just for that season too. I mean, and they still felt.
I heard even then they were hiring people like if you can even deliver stuff in your car. Like they were.
Well,
doing
that's normal.
deliveries.
I mean, they've done that a lot. But yeah, no, yeah,
Delivery is definite huge during Christmas time.
Oh yeah, I mean, what like Amazon, 3-day delivery, or I mean, they took that away, but I would say a week before Christmas.
Oh, you couldn't get
You
it.
couldn't get anything before Christmas.
Yeah.
Maybe a little before that, but you couldn't get it before Christmas anymore.
I did.
So-
My 2 days were running 2 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just
Mine too.
Well, I guess it just depends on the area.
where you
Or
live.
what you're getting.
Ah,
Yeah.
If it's in
okay.
stock,
Because if
close.
it's
Yeah.
if it's in a warehouse close to where you live or close to your area, you can get it pretty much.
Well, all of our delivery was, it doesn't matter what it was. It was all the 27th, 28th, 29th.
Oh yeah, one of ours was supposed to be coming in like it was supposed to come in the week before, and we got it Christmas Eve day.
I had a package. I had $1,000 package. It was a couple different things, but $1,000 order get automatically canceled because they said it just wouldn't be in there in time.
Mm.
Yeah,
Wow.
$1,000, and they just canceled it, gave me my money back, and moved on with our lives. It was weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah,
The
jobs. But go back to jobs. It was just, it's just inflated numbers, which is not the right data.
The next conspiracy theory to watch out for, and if this happens, it doesn't matter what conversation is being said in the news, it'll rock the bond market in a positive way. If Trump comes out with smart coin, everybody loves cryptocurrency. That's the fad right now. And to have a cryptocurrency that's backed 90% by the bond market is going to have people safely invest into a crypto space, which is, again, popular, but really affect the bond market by buying mortgage-backed securities, which will influence the rates very, very positively for us. And that's something you can't change.
Yeah.
It would be like saying, we're not at war, but you can see every bit of it in your backyard. Yes, we are. You're not going to be able to talk it away. So really would love to see something come out. I'm just, I'm hopeful that we're doing it in the right direction so that we don't see any whipsaw effects where, few months, anywhere from 2 to 6 months in the positive, and then whipsaw the opposite direction. And now here we are talking about sevens again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if they drop it too fast, if they drop the rates too fast, it can cause the inflation to go back up again, right?
In mortgage-backed securities, no. In the Fed funds rate, yes. The main concern with going down fast is affordability. We already have an affordability issue because we saw what 2017, 2018 did. When you infuse more buyers into the market that are qualified, you then start having the conversation with your buyer's agent of, hey, I get it. You need a roof over your head within the next 60 days. If this is the one, we need to come strong.
Yeah.
And these are the different tactics and ways that we can make an offer and spice it up. And a lot of time, like you said, with listings and whatnot, the number one thing is the price.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a different look at it. Now the seller's wanting to see the higher price, where right now with the inventory, buyers are being conscious of what they're offering.
Mhm.
You
I-
start
Because there's options.
I think
Oh, yeah.
right now we're still coming down off of the inflated prices.
yes.
Right now is, sellers have to get a realistic picture. Agents should be telling the true story and not, what do you want to list it for? And because that just skews the numbers. And but I think right now we're still coming down. So it doesn't mean stop. It means we need to bring down those
When you
prices
say
a little bit more.
so when you're saying coming down, you're talking the actual price of the home.
Yes.
Okay.
And buyers have more options right now. Trust me, because we will look at a lot of different houses, and even if they really really like this house, if you're not willing to negotiate,
Right.
whether it be repairs, price, or whatever, that's okay.
gonna walk
They're gonna
away.
walk and they're gonna
Yeah.
go find something else. I mean, I just did that.
We have 8.31 months of inventory.
They
so
have
that's,
options.
That they do have options. So
Well, rolling that into, talking about buyer agents and everything, the topic of the day is the difference between a buyer's agent and seller's agent. And let's go get your guys' opinion on that.
A buyer's agent and a seller's agent are the same.
You know what I mean? Listing agent.
A listing agent.
Yeah.
Do you know that the forms changed? Our forms
Mhm.
changed, that they no longer say selling agent. It now says buyer's agent. So because there's too much confusion
Yeah.
with a listing agent, and then they're saying a listing agent and a selling agent. Well, you're both selling.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was convoluted. They just made it simpler.
So the difference, what are the difference? What should people look at when they're actually looking for a realtor? What should they be looking at in a buyer's agent versus a listing agent?
first of all, don't call the agent on the sign in front of the house
If you're buying,
if you are buying, because who did that person hire to do what kind of job?
Mhm.
That seller hired that agent to do what? Get the highest price possible with the least amount of stress. So now you bring in a buyer, and that buyer calls that same person, and that same person, well, let me back up. A buyer's agent is to do what? A buyer's agent is to work with the buyer, get them approved, and find the best price possible with the least amount of stress. So how can that listing agent, the name on the sign, do both those jobs? How can I get the highest price and the lowest price all at the same time? You can't. So who suffers? The buyer, because the first person that hired that agent is the seller. So their loyalty is going to be more towards the seller. Not to mention their compensation check rides on that sale price most of the time. So you just have to be careful. Do people do it? Every day. But warning, you may not be getting the best deal that you can. Now let's flip that. You have a buyer's agent. A buyer's agent doesn't have the listing. They are solely in your back pocket. They are there to protect you with paperwork, with loan officers, with inspectors, with appraisals.
Let me cut in real quick. I just want to elaborate on one of those things when you're talking about it.
Okay.
A buyer's agent, it doesn't matter which house that you buy, as far as our thoughts and or a buyer's agent compensation. We'll get compensated whether you buy Mary's property or Dan's property. But the listing agent who has this house, their prerogative is to sell that particular house.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Now that I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
So, no.
Back to protecting from
Yes,
appraisals,
protection.
inspections.
And so then our job is to make sure that we protect you. You are our top priority. And we want to make sure you get the best deal possible with the least amount of stress, the best house through the inspections, and all of those come together. We manage all of those. And we go back and forth. We make sure that it's a house that we think is suitable for you through conversation back and forth between you and us. And I just think that it's harder to do that if you're also the listing agent. But that is, as a buyer's agent, I would prefer to be a buyer's agent. I probably just shot my foot. But I would rather be a buyer's agent because, one, The reason I would like to be the representative for the buyers, I have more control of the situation. I have more control of the contract, and I have more control for the inspections. And so I can make sure that all of your avenues and everything that you need to do is being handled.
Now, I just want to interject real quick too to say that we were in a deal with you as the listing agent, and boy, oh boy, she wants the control of that too.
Well,
As a listing agent, sorry,
I am a controlling type of personality.
But you just want to make sure that everything's correct and
correct.
done. And yes.
Well, and then you have, as a listing agent, you have buyer's agents. Let's face it, in every facet of employment, you have the ones that are workers, then you have the ones that are slouches. And so the ones that half-ass do their job, now me as the listing agent, I got to keep that deal going for my seller. I got to try to make sure, and I wasn't saying that you were slacking. I know.
I know I wasn't slacking.
So I want to make sure that is happening, and that we're staying on top of it, and we are not letting any kind of grass grow under our feet.
There you go.
You know, I do work with a lot of buyers. Those have always been kind of, I guess, what I'm really, really good at is people. And
Sellers are people.
They are, but just like it is a different market dealing with buyers. Now, you was talking about how you control that. A buyer's agent has control being a buyer's agent. That is because we're technically in a buyer's market. To me, this is my opinion on that, is a buyer's agent has more control when we're in a buyer's market. When we are in a seller's market, that listing agent has more control. So whatever market it is, that's who holds the control in the negotiation part.
As far as maybe negotiation, but to make sure that the home inspection gets done and completed and is satisfactory, that there's no complaints or worries. To make sure that the appraisal
that's just what a buyer's agent, that's what a good buyer's agent should do, period.
Correct. Correct. And that's what I was talking about. Not so much the negotiation part. Yes, that's our job. We're going to negotiate as best we can.
Right.
But it's to make sure it's a project manager, to make sure that every facet of that sale for that buyer is handled quickly with the least amount of stress for that buyer.
And, you know, we are finally, because we're in the market in the past year, we're going to see a lot more agents leave. And we are losing part-time agents. That needs to happen.
Yeah.
Because you can't do what we do part-time very well. That's just like anything. If you are, say, I'm a multitasker and I'm great at it. No, you're not. You're doing lots of things, but you're not technically great at the one thing that you're good at. You're multitasking, and that's the way it is with if you're going to be a full-time agent or if you're a part-time agent. If you're part-time, you are not really providing good service either direction, whether you're whatever your other job is, and as an agent, you're still only doing
half-ass the work.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm so sorry, Nathan.
For what?
Your wife also tells you you're not good at multitasking. I just heard my wife, so you're not good at it. Yes, I am.
I make it look good. whether or not that I'm actually good at it or not, but I make it look like I'm good at it. But yeah.
Vast majority of people are not. I am not good at multitasking.
I done a deal with somebody who had a full-time job and he was a part-time agent. You know, and I had the buyers, he had the sellers. Okay, as a listing agent, sure, it might work out for you because you put a sign in the yard, you make an MLS, you got a few, advertisement that you do, then you just wait for your phone to ring. But unfortunately, when you're a full-timer at another job and trying to do real estate, I don't get to talk to you for a third of the day. For a third of the day, you are, and maybe some people can at their jobs, but the people that I've done deals with who has a full-time job, I don't hear from them for another 8 hours.
Yep.
And then I might hear from them or the next day, and then or it's 3 days later they finally call me back because it's their day off. And now it's like, okay, well, this should have been done 2 days ago. Now we're trying to catch up and play catch up and try to hold this deal together. While you were there at your full-time job, I'm trying to work and keep this deal going, and you're not available.
And they take advantage of us. If they have a full-time job, they take advantage of you and your services, because then they're like, oh, well, you know, they just expect you to do everything, and you are to remind them to do their job.
Yeah.
And that's where
But
I run into problems with that.
They have us in a stronghold, because if we don't, then we can possibly lose that deal. So it's either
Right.
you do it or you let it fail, you know, and
Well, now we're at the point though we have inventory.
yeah.
You know, so hey, we'll just move on. I showed houses last weekend, and I had an agent say, I don't have a Central card. I'm not hopefully not going to have one. And
Well, you could just have a Century access, so you don't have to get one day
I don't
codes.
want to pay that bill.
Okay.
So
Fair enough.
so I had to get 1 day codes, and she said, well, I don't think my office will do 1 day codes.
Oh, yes, ma'am, they sure will.
And I said, okay, let me know, because if not, we'll move on. You know,
Right,
you just
yeah.
keep that little house of yours, and we'll move on.
Yeah, if you're not willing to, what is it, 3 buttons?
Right.
It is
Is it
not
3
hard.
buttons to give a 1 day code?
Right.
You know.
Right.
Oh, I have to get them all the time right now because I don't have my Century either. And I'd gotten away from it because most everybody, I noticed there was like a big change and everybody going back to combo locks.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people still doing that.
And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
now I see a big, and then right now
There's
I'm
an
seeing a
influx,
little
yeah.
bit more of the Century locks. And it's probably because they ran out of the combo locks. But the combo locks are easier. It takes us forever to get into a house with Central locks, and you better have service or you're
Yes.
not getting in.
Is that like a super box?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. And so I actually prefer somebody to send me a code, even if I have a Century lock access.
Because it's easier.
It is so much easier.
You
It's
just
boop,
put the
boop,
code
boop,
in,
boop,
and then
it's
you're-
good. If
yeah.
not, I'm out there like looking around for service. Do I have service? It's awful. I don't like it.
I mean, we live in such a rural area that, you know, sometimes we just don't have service. And supposedly,
They don't run off service, supposedly.
yeah.
It's
but
supposedly
bullshit.
it's Bluetooth. But
But you have to have service for Bluetooth.
no, you know, it's Bluetooth. It's
It's going to talk to each other without any kind of internet or any
correct
kind
because
of
it's
satellite.
Bluetooth. It's Bluetooth.
no,
I didn't know
you
that's
still
how
have to.
that
Well, that's just
Well,
it.
your
It will
phone-
Bluetooth,
your
but
phone
you have to have access.
The
to
box
get on
does
the app.
not need access to the internet.
No, the
But
box does not.
your phone
needs
has to have
access
service.
to the internet.
But when you're talking to the box directly from your phone, it's just Bluetooth.
Yeah.
It
That's the reason
connects
why you can
Bluetooth.
pull it up. You're supposed to, like, if you're going to a rural area, there's like a way to go about it where you pull it up and then it Bluetooth talks to each other. I don't like it. It's still complicated.
Yeah.
Just give me a code.
I mean, I kind of get it, but as far as security purposes, you know, I get it, but still, you know, we get nickel and dime to death.
I know it's like
And-
$200 just to have access to it a year.
And so it's like one of those that's
We're
not
gonna
really necessary.
Holly's gonna get it because it when you don't when she's gonna get it just
I
to
have
have
some
access.
agents who
Yeah.
don't want to cooperate, that do not want to cooperate and give me codes. And so that's really difficult. They're like, oh, we'll go online. I'm like, I need a code from you. Well, you need to let me know ahead of time. Well, I let you know 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Then I go to the
Oh, I
broker, and then if that's not, then I go right straight to Nashville because I'm not putting up with their crap.
Yeah.
You know, it just play right.
Okay, so back to
Yeah.
buyers and selling agents, lock boxes, you know, so
As far as a buyer's agent, you know, there's a lot of misconceptions that all we do is open a door and let somebody in and see it and our job's done. And basically that is so far from the truth. Our job is to research properties, even though you may find it on your own on Zillow or whatever platform. We still research the property. We still look at the deeds. We still look at the property lines. We still do a lot of research ahead of time. Then we set up showings. Then we see 5 or 6 or 1 houses or lands
Or 30 or 40
Or 50.
whatever. And then from that, we dwindle that list down. I always tell my buyers, look, we're going to see 6 houses today. So we're going to go on a grading scale to help weed these out. A being, yes, I love it. I really want to put an offer in. C being, nah, we'll pass. And so we do this ABC grading thing. And then after each home, that way we can eliminate right there when it's fresh in their mind. And so then by the end of the day, we have a couple properties that they want me to research. So then we come home, we do all the research we can to find out, is there restrictions? What's the deed? What's in the deed? What kind of attachments to the deed? Is there a survey? Should there be a survey? Where's the building set as far as property lines?
How old is the roof? How old is the HVAC? I mean, there's a lot. That
When was
goes
the
into
last time
that.
the septic was?
Cleaned out,
Cleaned out.
and is the septic acceptable for the number of bedrooms? And there's just so much, because you can't trust what's on that listing. You got to, at least I don't, you got to find out, make sure, and hear it from the horse's mouth. So there is so much that we have to do to verify, so many different departments that we have to verify with, and to make sure that this house is what it is, what everybody's saying it is, and that it's going to be suitable for your liking. And so that takes hours, and to verify all this information, sometimes a couple days. And we put a package together for this house, and then a package together for this house, and then we kind of talk about both of them, and then you decide which one you want to put an offer in on. But that step alone, from researching properties to find them, to get them scheduled so we could go look at them. Phase 1. Phase 2 is weed them out. So then we've got a couple left over. And then now let's start all of our steps in getting everything verified, proven, and make sure that we know what we're getting into. Then comes phase 3, which phase 3 then is, now we're under contract. Now we have to make sure that the inspection gets done within the time frame of the contract. The appraisal gets done within the time frame of the contract. The earnest money is turned in the time frame of the contract. We have to make sure that all of those things are done within a timely manner within the contract, because if not, the seller can void it and you'll lose it. And any kind of monies that's spent ahead of time, or any kind of monies that's spent up to that point, you lose. And so we have to make sure that we keep within the contract and follow those guideline dates, because we want to protect you.
Okay, so
There's-
on the flip side, what is the listing agent doing during that time period?
Real quick,
Nothing.
proof and point. So we talked about this last week. Buyer's agent, looked at a property. Buyer wanted to buy the property. He calls the listing agent up and says, "Hey man, you got it on the MLS as a single family home. I smell manufactured all day long based on the look."
Right.
Listing agent calls back and says, "Hey, look, I verified this is modular and it's not on, metal girders." The buyer's agent did not take that as face value that the listing agent knew, asked his home inspector, "Hey, if I was to find a HUD plate, where would it be?" Sure enough, pointed him in the right direction, found the HUD plate. It was a manufactured home.
Mm-hmm.
I bring that up to say that you would have paid for home inspections, appraisals, and all this other stuff that if that manufacturer did not qualify for the loan in which you were estimated, you either have the means to change and now you have this last minute understanding of your finances, or it would no longer qualify and you've spent all that money and exposed yourself and wasted time on getting a home that would have never worked from the beginning.
Well, they may not wanted a mobile home.
Or may not.
And
that's
now
a good
at
point,
the,
too.
Yeah.
now here I am. I've spent all my agent didn't, let's say, lack of a better word, protect me as far as finding out, is this a mobile home or not, if with any doubt. And so now I'm out there and I've got appraisals, I've got inspections, and the inspector comes back and says, it's a mobile home. And so sometimes it's hard to tell, and sometimes almost impossible to tell sometimes. But that's what we do. That's what we do is we make sure that we are protecting that buyer for any kind of case scenario. It kind of sounds funky or kind of sounds like we're tooting our own horns, but if we didn't do all those steps, then the person that's going to suffer is the buyer because something's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it happen too many times.
Absolutely.
And the sellers go right back on the market and start the process over again.
Correct.
Everybody's hurt at that point because sometimes the sellers have money tied up also, and like maybe they've already done some repairs and.
Yeah, I mean, we just had that instance over Railroad Bed. He dropped like $7,000 in some repairs. Moving a well pump and putting HVAC in so it'll pass FHA and all this other stuff. And then they just walk away, which, to be fair, it needed to happen either way. It needed to happen
regardless.
But yeah, he did it during this contract to
thinking he's going to get his money at the end.
Well, and he still will. He still will. We just have to find him a new buyer.
Yeah. So, okay, you was asking about listing.
Well, during that time when the buyer's agent's doing that, what is a listing agent doing?
Was a listing agent
during under contract? When you're under
contract.
contract, what is a listing agent doing?
Making sure that buyer's agent stays on time too. For the most part, that's really
it.
That's really it. During that, all of the listing agents' time is spent before the house goes on the market. Mm-hmm. All of their time is spent in money, upfront money of marketing, photos, videos. All of their time and effort is spent in advertising and marketing, and then just doing the homework. Is it in a flood zone? Is it?
You hope they do that.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't know.
I didn't know, and that's a whole another story.
But you learned.
I learned.
I bet it would never happen again.
Not at all. Never again.
But you got to think too. When it comes to you do also a bunch of property management,
right?
That part is not your forte. You've not been in it very long. You're still very new in that part,
right.
And that's where you make mistakes and you learn from them. And that's a good one to learn from.
Right.
But
how do you think I'm so smart? I've been in this 22 years, and can you imagine how many mistakes I've made?
So I kind of wish that would be an industry change, though. I think there should be onus on the listing agents to provide that in the MLS that, hey, look, this isn't a flood zone, it's flood zone A or flood zone V.
Most of the time people do, but
so ours now says it's in a flood zone.
But also have that septic when there's needing to be an inspection on it to have already done the inspection before it goes live to ensure that we're not walking into a timeline and then you need to do repairs based on the inspection. Some of these septic companies are behind on work 2, 3, 4 weeks, and you're dragging on something where somebody anticipated to get into that home because the due diligence wasn't done up front by the listing side. I feel like to some degree those things should be done because then it does make the transaction go a lot easier and smoother. Mm-hmm. You know that there's not going to be repairs on these major items.
Yeah, that's something it's like I think when you're going to list a house, go ahead and get a home inspection.
Absolutely.
And because then it'll
inspection.
you just if you go ahead and you get a home inspection and a pest inspection done, then you're not going to have these problems when it comes
Correct.
to you spend 3 months getting under contract, then you spend 2 weeks getting inspections, and you're spending a couple days as they're reading those inspections, and all of a sudden there's major problems when you could have had this addressed already. And like you were saying,
because how many times do people go under their house?
I can't even fit under my house.
See? So it's very important. And I do think that should be an industry change to where
absolutely
you list the house, you automatically have an inspection. But I want to clarify that inspector has to realize that even though the seller is paying him, he has to work with that buyer. He has to go over those reports. He has to make sure that...
He ain't going to do that without paying.
First of all, no.
That's the purpose.
No, it's not. Then the purpose of a listing inspection is to prevent problems. As a buyer, I am not going to use your inspector
why I want that
and
inspector to go over it.
That's just it. Is that inspector?
But again, I didn't hire that inspector. The seller hired that inspector. I'm going to find my own inspector and get my own report.
You could still use that same inspector, but that inspector is not going to just give you information for free.
I feel like it definitely does help though to set the expectations with the seller. Like if you end up finding out that, hey, look, I have some crawl space concerns and this, that, the other, I know what others are going to find when they pay for their own inspector.
Mm-hmm.
Setting that list price and what type of seller concessions or what repairs are going to be willing to be done up front before you get somebody's hopes up. I feel like that's a great first start before you ever get on market to kind of know what the health of your building, your structure looks like.
You know, we
Well,
did
not
that when
only
we
that-
sold our house.
Yeah.
When we sold our house, we already had a home inspection done, and anybody that was interested in it, like really interested in it, we gave
freely-
them,
yeah,
we
you freely
gave
gave
them the home inspection, and
Yeah.
they appreciated that
Absolutely.
so much
Mhm.
because we were very honest and
But
very
I would
upfront.
still always recommend getting your own inspector. I would still always recommend it. Just
What's the cost going these days?
$500 to $800, depending on who you get.
Okay.
You know,
Some I can get. I've seen some down in like 400, but
yeah, but generally it's about $500 to $800.
Would 4 probably be more if you're not on a crawl? It's on a slab.
it depends on the square footage of the house.
It depends
Right.
on the inspector.
And
Right.
the inspector. I have one that is he's fantastic, but he is on the high end. But you pay for what you get. And then I have one that is on the low end. I tell him like, here's where we're at. Here is this. This is what he provides. This is what he provides. You get to make that choice of who you want.
Not only that, is if you're upfront with the repairs needed and people are fully aware of it, they still get their inspector. Guess what? They're in their minds, they're already able to comprehend what actually is the problem. When people get an inspection report, there's always a massive list of things that are wrong, which it's supposed to. That's what you're paying the inspector to
Well-
do, to find everything that could be possibly wrong. So you have this massive list of things, and then you see something that's kind of critical, but if you knew about it beforehand, you could have processed that in weeks instead of days, and those problems aren't as big as they seem, and it'll give you time to actually say, you know what, we can deal with this. You know what, we can fix this. If you get an inspection report and you got 48 hours or 72 hours to make a
Right.
decision and what you're going to ask to get fixed, that shock value of finding that problem in 72 hours is different than 2 weeks.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Here's another thing on that though. If sellers don't understand the way that the market's going and you have those higher end price points, and I don't mean like I'm where the value truly is in the home with today's current market, you're probably going to get a buyer that's coming at you hard with all the things that they see in a home inspection because they're having to validate why they're making that purchase.
Yep.
If you're inside or just under to really attract buyers, somebody's going to look at that. Well, this is such a good price. We'll take care of this on our own.
Yes.
I
Rather than
had
blow up
that.
the deal.
Mhm. I
Right.
just had one that did that. They're like, we looked.
We
at
did that at our
everything.
house we have now. We knew it needed a new roof. We knew it. But you know what? The deal that we were able to work out because it needed a new roof made sense in the long run.
Mhm.
Like the $10,000 that we're going to put out for a new roof, the price on the home that we're paying interest on is going to outweigh that $10,000
Yeah.
in the long run.
So I think it just depends on what you're willing to do. We're like, yeah, we can take that on. Like we've already done a lot of this stuff, so we're willing to take these repairs on. I have one right now. They're buying a house, and we just went under contract. It needed a new roof. We negotiated. The seller is putting on a new roof, and they're like, when they saw the home inspection report, they're like, we have everything else. We're good as long as you do that roof. We're good with everything else.
Yeah.
And that's with the property condition disclosure. One of the forms that a seller is required to fill out is a property condition disclosure, which tells the buyer the condition of the property. Well, 99.99% of the time, everything's marked no issues, no issue, no issue, no issue.
Yes.
And it's because they don't know
They don't
or they
know,
do
right.
know. And most of the time it's because they don't know. And if you are aware of an issue, excuse me, put it on the daggone form.
Yeah.
You know,
I have had
list it.
some
They're
to list
so
little
worried
stuff.
that they're going to get sued if they, or nobody will want their property
Yes.
or no, what's going to happen is you're going to get sued for not disclosing a defect in your
If
property.
you can prove that they knew.
I had one that she was so specific. She's like, there's a crack in the doorway as you go into the master bathroom. Oh, there's a crack above the door, above the laundry room door, that she wrote on the property conditions.
Sounds like
she
there's
was
foundation issues.
thorough. She was, no, it was
just
no
kidding, I'm just
foundation.
See,
kidding.
I would much
And she
rather have
had a
too
full
much information.
encapsulation. She had a full encapsulation done on there, but she wanted to make sure. I mean, they had they made sure this house was great, but they were very, very specific, and they were like, "We're going to be honest." And I tell you what, that house sold within a week.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, but you got good people, you got bad people. You know, there's people that's going to be forthwith with the information. You got people that's going to try to hide
And I
it.
think that the property condition disclosure is an unutilized form. I think if listing agents actually explained it of what that form is for and how you really should, before you answer this.
I know of agents, listing agents, to tell their clients not to put things and let their inspector find them.
See,
I know that
is
happens.
so illegal.
I know that happens, but it happens. I look at a property condition disclosure. I just glance through it. I don't take it as a holy grail whatsoever.
You can't.
Because it's
Most of the time, it has nothing on it.
right, and it's just no. That's why it's so important to get inspections.
I only look at a few things on the property condition disclosure. I'm looking to see what's coming with the house usually, and then I look at the age of the roof, how old
It's
the
not
house
on there
is,
anymore.
and then the age of the roof is on there.
It's supposed to be, but they never
It is.
fill it out.
No, well, sometimes they just don't fill it out.
Yeah.
But the age of the roof is still on there. And then even down in the private, like the little remarks that they can do, that's the only places I really look, because everything else is no.
All right. Well, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back real quick. Any last thoughts on the difference between a buyer and a listing agent? A buyer agent and a listing agent. Any last thoughts?
if you're going to sell your house, get a listing agent. If you're going to buy a house, get your own buyer's agent. Don't mix the two.
Get
I
a
agree with
listing
that.
agent who is going to do the data, who is going to provide the services with photography, videos, marketing. Get a good. It really does make a difference.
And get
Not
a
them
listing
going
agent.
out there.
Get a listing agent that will have the hard conversation and be honest with the price, and not just take your price on a whim and say, yeah, we'll start there, and then 6 months later they have you dwindle down to where you should have originally put your house on,
Yeah,
and you
'cause
could have
Mr.
sold it in 2
Seller,
weeks.
If you want to buy this $700,000 house and you're selling what should be a $300,000 house, but now we got it inflated to $450 because you need the money to buy this expensive house. That's not how it works. Your value of your house is what the value is. Be honest, be upfront, and be realistic on what your price should be. Just because you want all that extra money to go buy your other house or whatever you want to do in life doesn't mean it can come from here. You know, it only is what it is. So what you do is you waste a lot of time, you skew the numbers, and it'll eventually either go off the market or you'll lower the price down to what it should have been 6 months ago.
Yep.
But now you look like you're having problems because you've been on the
Yeah,
market.
Yes.
now you're dead on
Yes,
the
now
water
you're stale.
because your market's stale.
Yep. I think we run into that all the time. Because even the market changes all the time. So we're constantly having to, sorry, I had a phone call. It distracted me. So we all constantly have to keep up with the data. Where is the market at right now? Like, we know right now we're in a slow market. So I have listings right now, and we're like, and I'm giving them a phone call. I'm like, hey, obviously we just come through the holidays. And they're like, absolutely, we know. They's like, hey, it's slow here where we're at too. We understand. And I was like, okay, well, we're going to give it another week. If it is no more action on it, because we're now past the holidays, if we see no more, then we're going to have a conversation about price reduction. He said, absolutely.
I think that a listing agent should do a comparative market analysis every 3 weeks for that property in today's market.
I think so too, because it changes that much.
Yeah, because here we went from, 6 months on the market to now 6 months worth of inventory market to we have 8 months of stuff on the market.
Right.
That is a huge, and that's only been, these are very close together as when these were. I don't know. What did you do last week with the months? Is that?
That
No,
was
last
your
week
thing.
was a year.
Yeah.
That was all a recap
So,
of
I mean, even a
25.
month ago, we were at 6 months inventory. Now we're at 8 after through the holidays,
All
which
right.
means stuff just didn't move.
Well, anybody have any listings that we want to talk about?
Oh, real quick.
Yeah, please.
So, one last conspiracy thing.
Okay.
So, Trump has stated that he may be able to cap out credit card debt.
to
Oh
10%.
my God, I hope he
Yeah.
does.
If you are worried about or looking to purchase in the next 12 to 24 months, now is your time to really work with somebody that's going to help you budget and reduce that debt while you have a protection that the federal government has gone in, because some of these credit cards are 27, 28, 29, 32%. This is your opportunity to really put a plan in place to budget for your success down the road. For some, it'll be a lot faster. For others, credit cards were very easy to dig a big hole with. Get with somebody. You could call me, anybody that is, can help you financially advise you on what those right steps are, because now might be the time you can get yourself to a position of being a homeowner. Whereas if this didn't happen, that interest may have kept you from ever being a homeowner.
Absolutely.
But if that happens, do not
go out and get credit cards.
go out and get credit cards just because the interest rate is lower. No, take advantage of getting rid of credit cards and get rid of your credit card debt.
Yes.
They're very curious how that mandate comes out.
When does that come out?
I'm not 100% sure when he's going to get it through, but I wonder if this is going to be on existing credit card debt and not
I'm
on
hoping that
new,
that's what it is,
because
and
that would
not new
deter.
debt.
Correct.
Because if he puts that on new debt,
Oh, or
You
people's
know
going to
what's gonna
accrue
happen.
Yeah,
more.
absolutely.
Yeah.
so and I'm sure Trump's smart. Now, he's a smart man. I'm sure he's thought that.
Well, not only that, Trump's really good at putting people who are smarter than him around
Yeah.
him. He's really good at that.
I'm hoping though that you're correct on that. That new credit lines post this going into effect will not be capped at the 10%.
Correct.
It will be at whatever the standard rate would have normally have been, because at this point you are now getting
So,
into debt on your
how
own.
is that going to work though? If you've already owned a credit card and it has a 25%, they're not just going to go back. You sign a contract saying you'll pay the
The
25%.
government is saying temporarily
Correct.
that is illegal.
for a year.
Yes.
For a year, they're going to lower it.
Yeah.
So they have to just automatically.
Everybody's
down
going
to
to hard
10%.
stop, flush it down to 10.
Yep.
So, but then don't lessen your payment. Just keep paying that and
pay
more
that thing
to get it
off.
paid off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway,
All
okay.
right.
Interesting.
Any properties?
Nope. I got a buyer looking for 50 acres or more, and they don't care what part of Tennessee. So if you've got land,
Welcome to be a buyer's agent.
if you got land with some water on it, 50 acres, reasonably priced, then hit me up and let me know. I have another buyers that are looking for their starter home. They want 5 acres.
Starter home, 5 acres. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
They want animal. Well, they'll settle for 3, but they would really like 5.
I got one.
No,
Okay.
that won't work. And they want country and some privacy and so I've
Might
got
be
that.
time to list my property.
So I know a good listing agent.
I know.
So anyway,
Who?
so if,
You're a buyer's agent.
no,
Yeah,
I said I know.
Holly's
I know.
right
I'll
here.
refer
Yeah,
it. I'll refer it. So anyway, if you have those 2 items, hit me up and let me know.
I have. We have Buttermilk Ridge. What is that address out there?
2630 something.
It's Buttermilk Ridge. It is Lawrenceburg. It is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home on a beautiful 18 acres, a little over 18 acres. It has a couple of barns. It has a windmill,
Full basement.
spring-fed
It's
pond.
Two bath. Did you say 2 bathrooms?
I did.
Okay.
So yeah, it does have a basement. It's an unusual layout. It's a really cool house, I think, though. Just a little bit of an unusual house, but I like it.
And one of the barns is more stables.
It is.
Yeah, one
but
of
it
the barns
is
is
a really
stables.
cool
Beau-
property.
Beautiful land for
That is
some horses.
beautiful land
Yeah.
out there. That is some of the prettiest land I've ever
And
listed.
you got your stable already there for, I think it's four stalls. I think it's 4
I
stalls.
think so. That seems right.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have the little house. Great little investment / first time home buyer. It will go FHA. Down on Holly Creek. Well, we call it Holly Creek. It is Iron
Railroad-
City. It's
railroad-
railroad bed.
Yeah, railroad bed.
In Iron City. It is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom for $94,000.
That house would be
94.5.
great for like people in my situation, where we're trying to downsize and we're trying to get rid of bills and we're trying to get rid of massive
Oh my gosh, it would be
houses.
cheaper than rent.
It would be.
Yeah.
What people are paying
And
for a
there's a-
2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house, people here are paying 1100 to 1300 a month for rent. And this is going to be probably
In
less.
Lawrenceburg, yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be less than 1,000 a month.
And there's an acre of land.
And it'll be yours.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to keep it and then rent it out later, you already have a rental to start. I don't know. It's got a lot of opportunity.
I think we could get that. We could get that 2-1 rented out for 1,100 with an acre of land out there. I think so. It'd be
Golly,
1,000
so-
to 1,100.
Yeah. Not
Speaking
bad.
of rental properties, if you're in need of a rental home, I have a few available. I'm getting ready to have 3 more by the end of the week. I have 2 single-family homes at the moment. Both of them are a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom. One's in Loretta, Tennessee, and one's here in Lawrenceburg. So if you need a 3-bedroom, 1-bath rental, they're few and far between. Get a hold of me. Get you on that process. If you're an owner out there with investment properties and you're tired of dealing with tenants, finding tenants, background checks with tenants, hearing every tenant story, give me a shout. Love to go over what I offer. We're starting a new service as well, a leasing option service for you owners. If you don't want to take the time to find your tenant, let me do that for you. It's half month's first rent for a fee for that. We do all the same background checks, all the same everything. We'll get you a good tenant, get you a good lease, and we'll turn it back over to you. So if you're interested in that, give me a shout at 931-345-2870. Kyle, anything with the market loans? New?
No, if you have any specific questions, feel free to give me a call. My phone is always on. It's what I love to talk
Do a
about.
brief overview of your your repair thing. I don't know what's called. Where you help them with
Rehab loan?
yeah, no, with if they don't have
Credit.
really good credit and then they're working with you.
THCA? Oh,
Key
steps.
steps.
Yes.
So we
key
have
step.
a self-management tool. This is a really great opportunity for somebody who doesn't really want to work with somebody else and kind of divulge what's going on, maybe a little bit of embarrassment. We have a very slick tool that you can self-manage. It helps prompt you on different ideas to manage through your credit. You get to see the improvement of it. It's a star rating, and any area of deficiency, whether it's assets, liabilities, or credit, it's going to help prompt you through different articles on other things that you can do that maybe you haven't thought about in order to improve those sections. And then as you get 4 stars, 3 stars in all categories, you can start looking on the MLS and seeing how that fits with your financial profile. So it's a very nice, secure way to self-manage. That way we can be here as a resource for you as that turns around for you.
I think that's a great opportunity for people.
And you can always reach me at 757-717-5806.
I am Holly Cavins. I am now a broker here. And of course, if you need listings, you need a buyer's agent, I do both. You can reach me at 931-345-2406.
I am Teresa Flora, the rock star broker.
Yes, brought it back. I love it.
Anyway, you can reach me
She sure is a rock.
on my work cell number is 931-271-5790. Just research Teresa Flora on Google and I will pop up everywhere. So just reach out. I'll be glad to help you, whether you're a buyer or a seller.
Really?
Well, no buyers, typically. I'll refer you as a seller.
She's going to send you over to me.
Yep.
Just call me.